Welcome or welcome back to my channel. In this video we're going to do this training right here, map simple relevance maps v2 m3. So if you're not already subscribed, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. So let's get started. Like I always say, please download the guidelines and go through them at your own time. This setup is about understanding the user's search intent and then deciding how well the result matches the user's search intent. So you can see here, PS app access is restricted to judges with greater than 80% spam score. So let's get started with the training. So here the query is Tana River, Western Australia, and the full result, the result is Chef Bistro, and the full address, you can see nothing matches. So in this hit up, the boxes, the words that are in red, the address that are in red, it means that they are not in the result. So you can see here Tana River, Western Australia, they were looking for a specific natural feature that was not in the result. So I'm going to go with not perfect. Your judgment is correct. Query is for a river, a natural feature. The results return a restaurant not related to the river. So it does not match such intent. The result is not perfect. So let's continue. National Bank on Des Laurentides. So the result here is National Bank, but it's not on the, I don't think it's the same location, because this is Des Laurentides. It's Canada, but it's, see, I think this is, yeah, this is different. They're different. So I'm just going to go with it's not perfect. The intent was not met. So it's not perfect. The query for a chain business at a specific location. The research shows the location is the name of a road. So result returns a branch of the business, but located at a different street. The results are not perfect. So let's continue. It's a pretty easy hit up once you understand the concept. So the query was for Novotel Chennai OMR, and the result was for Novotel Chennai OMR. And then they give you the full address. So I think this is a perfect result because the search intent was met. Yeah, we are correct. The query is for a specific hotel. The result matches the hotel, including a well-formatted address. The result is perfect. Let's continue. So the query is for El Cajon, San Diego, and then the result is for El Cajon. There's no the San Diego. You see, they're in red boxes, meaning they're missing from the result. So I'm just going to go with it's not perfect because the San Diego was not specified. Maybe there's another El Cajon somewhere, but for me, this, as per the guidelines, this is not a perfect result. So that's why I always say, please make sure you go through the guidelines and keep referring to them in the event you're not sure of something. So let's just confirm. Yeah, the place is for query is for a city, California, USA. The result returns a city, but is missing the required state where the city is located. That is California. The result is not perfect. Note that San Diego is the county, which is not formally required in US addresses. So please take note of that. Let's continue. So the query is for Seaside, Oregon. The result is Seaside, Oregon, United States. So this is a perfect match. The intent, the user search intent was met. Oh my god. So it's not perfect. The result, the place query for a city, the result matches the city and state, but is missing the required postal code for this city. The results are not perfect. So please take note of that. That was actually quite surprising even for me, because I thought it met the intent, but clearly not. So please take note of that. It's not perfect. So it's missing the required, the reason it's not correct is that it's missing the required postal code for the city. So yeah. So 180 Fairview Mall, DR, Toronto, Ontario. The Toronto, Ontario is missing. So the The Ontario, the ones that are in the red box are the ones that are missing. So I'm going to go with Ontario. This is the ON. This is a short, I think it's a short form of Ontario, but I'm not too sure. But yeah, it looks like it's a short form. And then Canada, Toronto is also missing. So that's a bit confusing. And then this is North York. So let's first research. Let's check on Google. Let's open it. So this is what the user searched for. Let's check the Google search result. So you can see it's still the same. It's bringing they're not too far off. So yeah, I'm going to go with it's perfect because everything else matches. I could be wrong. Let's just confirm. Yeah, I'm not correct. It's the wrong query type. The query is for an address, not a shopping center point of interest. Hence, this is not a PI. Note that mall is part of the name of the street. I think it's because it was because of the North York and the Toronto. You can see they were different. Please take note of that. So let's continue. So the second query is 6283 Common Oaks City. So what is missing is the apartment, and then the US, and then 2662. So this is also a confusing one. Some of them are pretty easy. Some of them they require more research. So let's say the 38120, the postal code is the same. The postal code is the same. You can see 38120, 38120. Everything else is the same apart from this apartment. In the guidelines, they say something about not the results they don't need the apartment. So let's just confirm. So I'm going to go with it's. I think it's perfect. The only thing that is missing is this 2662. Because I can see the postal code is what is compulsory. And this 101. I'm going to go with it's perfect. Let's see. I could be wrong. Yeah, your judgment is correct. Yeah, perfect. The query is for a specific address. The result matches the address perfectly and is well formed, including all relevant information for this address. The result is missing non-essential information, which is hence not required. Extra 4 digits in the postal code of country. A unit number is included, but it's non-essential. So, yeah. So please take note of that. The additions past the postal code were not necessary. So let's continue. So this is a perfect. I think this is perfect when I just look at it immediately because this street is an abbreviation of this is an abbreviation. So and everything else matches. So I'm going to go with perfect. But okay. So please note this app can be a bit confusing then. So not perfect. Query is for an address. The result matches the address and the rest of the geographical information. But regardless of the match, it is missing the postal code. Please take note of that. This is the second time I'm feeling this a hit up because of a missing postal code when it's appropriate for a full address. So take note of that. when it's missing the postal code, the results are not perfect. So let's continue. So I'm just going to go with this is not perfect. When I just look at it, there's no Salt and Malt. Salt and Malt, I think, is a restaurant. You can see here, this is a restaurant. Then Unit 1 Cargo, Second Museum Street, Bristol. You see, there's no even like, I'm not sure it's a perfect match. Then you can see 6WD, then this is 6ZA. I think this is now the postal code and they're not matching. So I'm just going to go with not perfect. Please make sure you do research. So that it's not perfect. The query for a business at a specific address, the result is just an address, but the business is missing. So result is a little too general and the result is not perfect. I don't think the user search intent was met. So let's continue. This is just foreign language. The result is foreign language. Yeah. Foreign language result. Result is in a foreign language and contains foreign characters, so it cannot confidently be determined how well it matches the search intent. Mark as foreign language. So take note of that. This is also foreign language. So you can see the judgment is correct. Foreign language result. The result is in a foreign language and contains foreign characters, so it cannot confidently be determined how well it matches such intent. So it's foreign language. Let's continue. So Tavistock, the query is Tavistock Avenue, Brooklyn, Whitby, ON. I think this is Ontario. So what the results were for Tavistock. So let's see the Bing results. I think I have intermittent internet. Yeah. So yeah, you can see Tavistock Avenue, Brooklyn, Whitby, Ontario. So the results were for Tavistock Avenue, Whitby, Ontario. So what is missing is the avenue, but this is a short form of this AVE. So Brooklyn is also missing. The search intent was met, but this Brooklyn is missing. So I'm just going to go with the results are not perfect. I can't also see the postal code. I could be wrong, but let's just submit. So yeah, you can see it's correct. It's not perfect. The query is for a road. The result matches the road and the city, but postal code is missing when all addresses must have postcard regardless of whether it is in the query or not. So the result is not perfect. So let's continue. So the query was for Alex, okay. The result was for Alex, okay. And you can see here there's a postal address. So I'm just going to go with it's perfect. Yeah, your judgment is correct. The query is for a city in Oklahoma, USA. The results return the city, including the required state and postal address as appropriate. So the result is perfect. Let's continue. So I'm just going to go with foreign language because the result is foreign language. Yeah. So anything with foreign language or foreign characters, it's just automatically foreign language. So I'm going to go with it's not perfect because I cannot see the postal code, the postal address in the result. So yeah, not perfect. Yeah, so it's missing the required state and postal address, the postal code. So the result is not perfect. Let's continue. You can see it's a pretty easy hit up once you understand the concept. So if you're not already subscribed, please be sure to subscribe for more content like this. So let's continue. So the natural feature, the query was for Park CL, Northley, Whitney. So I'm just going to go with it's perfect because it's close. I think it's an abbreviation for CL. So I'm just going to go with perfect. And then you can see it also has the address. I'm guessing this OX296, this is the address. So let's just confirm. Okay, it's not correct. So the query is for a road with no street number, where Park is the name of the street. and close is the street type. This is not a query for an actual park. So please take note of this. It's not a natural feature query. So you can see you're supposed to confirm if it's a natural feature query. So let's continue. So the query was for Greenville TX Police, and the result was for Greenville City Police Department Narcotics Division. Okay, this is a bit too specific because they just wanted the Greenville TX Police, but the result was too specific. It gave Narcotics Division in as much as it has the postal code. I'm not too sure. I don't know if I read something like this in the guidelines. So there's also, you see, it can be a bit confusing because they also say ignore additional information in the result that does not conflict with the query. This includes city, state, postal code or zip code, county, country, and sometimes street direction. So you can see they have a lot of examples here. So you can see here Statue of Liberty, and then here Statue of Liberty. Yeah, you see museum shop. I think this is the exact situation that we have. So it's not perfect because the results are too specific. So I'm going to go with not perfect. Yeah, your judgment is correct. So it's not perfect. The query is for a city's police station in Texas, USA. The results return a specific department of that same police station. So it's a little too specific. The result is not perfect. Let's continue. So the next one is 1461 Registry Drive, Myrtle Beach, SC. So I'm going to go with it's perfect. This DR, it's just an abbreviation of this, and then you can see the results have a postal code. So I'm just going to go with it's perfect. So your judgment is correct. The query is for an address. The result matches the address, including the relevant full postal code information required for a full address. So this is Dr. Locksmith, Knoxville, Tennessee. I don't know if it's Tennessee. So the result is Knoxville, TN. I'm just going to go with it's not perfect because it's missing the Dr. Locksmith. Yeah. The query for business at a specific location. The result is only the location where the business is expected, but not the business itself. So the result is far too general. The result is not perfect. So if it's also too general, please make sure to mark it as not perfect. So here the result is 1 Forest Road, Wayne, PA. The result, you can see the results are perfect and it has the postal code. So some of them are pretty easy, some are not. But let's just confirm we are correct here. So query for an address. The result returns a full address. It is well formatted and includes the full postal code which is required. So Alborz Mountains. You can see this is Alborz Mountains, Iran. There's no postal code or zip code. The user search, this is where it gets confusing because the user search intent was met, but there is no postal code. So you can see like here, there's no postal code. So postal code is not required for large places unless in query. So you can see it can get a bit confusing. Oh, so you can see here, postcode not required for natural features, even if in query. And this is a natural, so I'm going to go with it's perfect. So you can see why it's important to keep referring to the guidelines. I hope this is, yeah. So you can see queries for natural feature, a mountain range. So the results return the mountain range and no other information is needed as postal code is not required for natural features and country is optional in the result. So let's continue. So this is Buddy's Apothecary. So the result was 11 Bayshore Road, De Toronto, Ontario. I can't see a postal code, so I'm just going to go with it's not perfect, but it's, I don't know, I can't see a postal code. I don't know if this is just the road, there's no postal address. So let's just confirm. Yeah, you're correct. So you see, the more you practice, the better you get at it. So the query is for business. The result returns a business, including a well-formatted address, but is missing the full postal code required in the address. The result is not perfect. So let's continue. So Bloomville, Ohio. I'm guessing it's Ohio. It's not perfect. I can't see a postal address. Some are pretty straightforward. So query is slightly ambiguous, but dominant search for intent is for a city. The result returns one of the many cities with that name, but is missing a postal code, which is required, even if it's not specified in the query. So let's continue. The next one is 3051 State Highway 173 Cochranton, PA 16314. So the results are for 3051 PA 173. So the state highway is missing. So you can see here when you Google the search results and the search results and the search query, I'm seeing they're the same, because you can see here it's Map Wood Products. Let's see the search result. You can see it's the same location, but the only thing is that it's missing this state highway, but everything else is the same. So I'm just going to go with perfect. I could be wrong because of this state highway, but for me, I think the search intent was met because everything else is there. So let's just go back to the guidelines and confirm. I'm just going to go with it's perfect, but please take note, I'm not too sure because of this, the state highway part, but everything else matches and the search intent was met. So let's just see if it's perfect first. Yeah, it's correct. So the query is for a full address. The result matches the address, returning a valid alias for the street name, including required full postcode. The result is perfect. So yeah, please take note of that. Let's continue. The next one is roads ST. I think this is perfect. This is the postal code. It's the postal code. The country is optional. So the ST and E. Yeah, I'm just going to go with it's perfect. Let's just confirm. Yeah, your judgment is correct. It's query for an intersection. The results return the intersection and includes the appropriate postal code as required. So let's continue. So I could continue training. If you feel like you've not quite understood the application, please make sure you continue training. But if you want to qualify for the video, you can just start the qualification if you feel confident that you've understood the training. So at this point, please make sure you're subscribed to my channel for more of such content. I'm just going to see if I can continue the training or start the qualification. I'm going to share the qualification link in the video in the description down below. So That's why make sure you also turn the notifications on. So every time I post a UHRS qualification, you get notification. So thank you for watching till this far.